A PSA that's playing in Germany and has gone viral is getting a lot of heat because of the fact that many feel that it overly sexualizes women and has a sexist message. Now, the ad is all about how the country needs more people trained in first aid. Okay.
True.
Probably the most boring topic that you could ever watch a PSA on. However, they decided to kind of sell it with boobies. You don't believe me? Take a look.
Because you know, worum es heute geht. Heute geht Erste Hilfe und wie einfach das geht. Einfach geht im Notfall. Worum es heute geht. Heute geht Wiederbelebung. Ich weiß, dass du es willst. Du es willst. Willst.
I kind of feel like Fox News right now where you're like, oh, it's outrageous. They're overly sexualizing women and it's disgusting. Let's watch a minute of it.
Well, are we going to watch it again?
No. Okay, so let me give you some more details about this. Not only are they using sex in order to sell this and catch people's attention, they're also obviously trying to spoof very popular music videos. That was Robin Thicke's, which you saw in there.
Blurred Lines.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. So Robin Thicke's controversial hit Blurred Lines is changed to Resuscitation, I Know You Want It. Taylor Swift's Shake It Off becomes Bend the Head, Bend the Head.
Okay, well, that's
right.
There's a couple of different interpretations.
All right, okay. And Beyoncé's iconic Single Ladies video is reproduced with dancers holding defibrillators, okay? So...
First of all, that's the calmest German video I've ever seen.
I know.
Other German videos I've seen,
we all
a little
know,
bit more sexualized.
We all know your porn viewing habits. Okay.
Schlubendas, das ist Vitamin.
Okay, so the question is this the right way to get an important message out there, right? Where you obviously use women in a very sexual nature in order to sell something.
Okay, good controversy or controversy. And we should do a poll on it on our app too, right?
Sure.
Is this sexist or not? Okay. I vote no. I'm curious what you think. If you notice, it wasn't just women. The guys were also hot. The guy had a six-pack,
yes.
and they emphasized that. And if the roles were reversed and hot men with six-packs were giving little old ladies CPR, etc., yeah, it catches people's attention. Now, people are saying you're sexualizing women. That's unacceptable. I don't think it's unacceptable to sexualize women. I think it's unacceptable to sexualize women in certain contexts, right? It's also not unacceptable to sexualize men. It depends on the context.
I actually do agree with you. I don't know if this is even really a question of whether or not it's sexist. Look, I come from the brand of feminism where as long as there's consent and the women in a very specific context are wanting to do it, then why is it sexist? Like, these women are probably models and actresses and stuff like that, and they consented to doing this. Some feminists disagree with me. They think, oh, it sends the bad message about women that we're only sexual objects. I get that. But you can't start telling women what they can and can't do. I think that kind of goes against what feminism is supposed to be about. But I think the more important question, Cenk, isn't even about sexism or feminism. It's about whether or not this is the right way to get an important message out there. And remember, we had a discussion about this when it came to the I Love Boobies campaign for breast cancer. At some point, overly sexualizing something could actually take away from the message, right? It could distract from the message. I don't know if that's what's happening here, but I'll tell you this didn't encourage me to learn CPR. It just was an entertaining thing to look at.
No, I would have watched it twice and maybe learned something accidentally, right? And I'm being serious about that. Apparently in Germany, only 70% of Germans start chest compression when a person suffers heart failure in a public place. You think 17%? That doesn't sound so bad. No, in neighboring Holland, 65% do that. So obviously they've educated people in Holland a lot better than they have in Germany about this same issue. Now, I don't know that they did it with hot Dutch girls in Holland, right? But if they're getting people to pay attention to it, I think that's totally fine. Now, the boobies campaign with breast cancer, that never made any sense to me because it's going to get young guys to be like, oh, yeah, let me check out the breasts, right? But they're not the ones who need to screen themselves for breast cancer, so they're hitting the wrong demos.
Yeah, and also with that story, I mean, think about the number of women who've had to undergo like double mastectomies because they had breast cancer, and then you have a campaign saying, I love boobies. That probably doesn't make them feel great. Yeah. But look, I think that if you genuinely care about teaching young people or teaching people in general about the importance of first aid, you can do that while they're in school, right? Like, why? Like, don't they have health classes? Isn't that what we should use health classes for? Like, yeah, you learn about it.
I know, but I learned it in health class, and I'm not sure in the case of an emergency I could do it right now. But if that video was in English and I watched it a couple of times, maybe I could. You know what I'm saying? I know what you're thinking. As you're watching the video, you're probably thinking,
That was not what I was thinking.
you were probably thinking,
give me a break.
I wasn't thinking that either. I had a very neutral reaction to it. The thing that I'm most curious about is whether or not it's going to be effective, right? If you're just using sex and pop culture to sell something, well, then you just come off as cheesy and cheap. You see what I'm saying? Like, you can sell sex to a point, but at some point it starts to become a distraction more than anything else.
Anna, I think that those breasts save lives, and I'm in favor of saving lives.